Hello cycling friends, thank you for tuning in. We have a great video today with our first mountain bike test and review. Be sure to stick around and let's see what we have. Let's not waste any more time. Let's see what we brought today. This is the Fantic XF1 Integra Carbon 160 Enduro E-MTB. That is a lot of words to describe a bike. Let's get past that part and let's see what makes this thing tick. At the front end, we've got a Mavic 29-inch front wheel with Maxxis Minion DHF 2.5 size tires. This is bolted onto the RockShox Lyric 160 fork, running the RC Charger damper on the right side and the Debonair air spring in the left. Slowing everything down, we're using SRAM code brakes. Those are 4-piston calipers on large 200mm rotors. Up top in the cockpit, we're using the FSA grid stem and handlebar. These are 35mm diameter, nice and strong. Back here, we have the SRAM GX11 crankset, GX11 derailleur on a Sunrace 11-42 cassette. Still using the code 4-piston brakes on 200mm rotors. All being suspended by the RockShox Super Deluxe air shock. The Fantic Integra has a floating rear shock design. Mounting at the top rocker link and the main swing arm, it will compress the damper from both directions instead of having the usual static lower mount. Let's talk about what makes this an e-bike. Fantic Integra has a German-made Brosa S-Drive. This is the same manufacturer that Specialized uses in their bikes. The S-Drive is a Class 1 36-volt motor giving you a max output of 90 Newton meters, which equates to 66 pound-feet of torque. Powering the motor is a 630 watt-hour battery. That is on the higher end of what's available in the market today. Inside the S-Drive, we have a Gates carbon belt drive system. This gives you some of the quietest operation out of all the e-bike motor systems out there. On top of that, we have a dual freewheeling design inside. The benefit of that is, even when the motor's turned off, there's virtually zero drag compared to any of the other units out there. Okay, enough with all the technical talk. Let's get out in the woods and let's see what this thing can really do. Right now, doing a Mount Hill climb. I have the power setting down on 1, which is the lightest amount of assistance you can get without turning it off. And it is giving assistance, but it is definitely not completely doing it for me. If anything, it makes this big bike
climb like my regular trail bike does right now. So if anything, it's just kind of overcoming its own weight and bulk. So you can get kind of a regular ride feel. If I turn it all the way up in the turbo, yeah, in this setting, as long as you keep your legs moving, this bike goes. Okay, we are running out of light on this ride. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the battery and the motor completely off. Just finished this last bit of descent, a little bit of pedaling back to the car. We're gonna see how this feels, how much drag, if any, that this Bros S unit has. They claim to have none, or at least very little compared to a lot of the other electric motor units. So we're gonna go ahead, turn the controller completely off so there's no more power for the rest of this ride, and let's see how it does. Let's go. Come on, Evie. Go. Okay, so now we're back in the parking lot. I just wanted to show that the motor and the battery are still off, and we're pedaling around on pavement. And at the moment, this feels like you're pedaling any mountain bike. There's no drag. It's actually rolling quite nice. I mean, we're on flat, we're not doing a hill climb, so it at this point, it just feels like a regular bicycle. right now, I'm back pedaling up the return fire road on the Dr. J trail. I have the motor engaged. I'm not really working that hard, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not gonna be grumpy that I'm not earning it. I just wanted to come out and do some laps, do some drops. I didn't want to go for a long pedal ride today, and honestly, this is kind of making it perfect. It's like giving you a mini lift access park wherever you want it. I can run the whole trail on the way down and do all the regular riding I want with the motor disengaged to the zero drag. Turn it on, pedal back up to the top. I think there's a big future for that option right there in a lot of remote access places. You don't need to be at a park to enjoy it.
Okay, we've had the bike on the road. We've had the bike on the regular trails. And we took the bike on some jumps, drops, and rocks. Pretty much what I've tried to show you is this bike can do whatever it is you want to do. I would have liked to maybe take this bike to an actual lift access bike park, throw it at some bigger stuff, see how it would hold up there, but they've already closed for the year, and maybe that'll be for a future video. Now, since the time I've had it, I only have 3 real concerns with the bike. One of those might just be unique to my situation because I have small car problems. I usually have to disassemble mountain bikes to put them in the back of my car. Because of this, in a parking lot, whenever I'm taking wheels on and off, I might flip the bike upside down, stand it on the seat and the handlebars. The controller unit on this handlebar sticks up a little bit, and if you flip it over and you're not paying attention, that will impact the ground first. So I usually put like an elbow pad or a riding shoe under that side of the handlebar whenever I had it flipped, just to make sure I wasn't grinding the screen into the ground. Second one is the battery itself. Not that there's a problem with the battery, but it's secured into the frame using just a large Allen head bolt. It's not really a problem, it works great, but on some other models I have seen that the battery is held in with a lock, an actual keyed lock. That way, if you leave your bike back on your on the back rack when you go get something to eat after a ride, nobody can take the battery. Just take it out with a regular tool. They'd need your key. Might be a small concern, but that one could be expensive if it happens to you. My third one is the dropper seat that comes with the bike. Now, in this day and age, it's great to have a dropper. If you're doing anything but cyclocross and road riding, you probably have one. On this kind of bike with this much travel and as much fun as you want to have on it, it only comes stock with a 100mm travel seat dropper, which to me just isn't enough for this kind of bike. I want to be able to have the seat all the way up so we can pedal and ride trail as much as we want. When it's time to have fun, I want it to get all the way down, out of the way. So if we're going down a nasty section or we're hitting a jump, we can tuck the bike up into us and not have it hit you in the butt. So other than those 3 things, this is a great bike. Who could use one of these? Well, anyone, because it was fun. And that's the reason why most of us are out there riding bikes. It's fun. You don't need somebody else's permission to ride an e-bike. Doesn't matter what their ego tells them an e-bike's all about. It was a blast. I also see that these could open up a lot of opportunity for other people. If there's people that are injured, who had leg injuries, who have been born with a disability, this could get you out on the trail. This could have you keeping up with your friends who have been riding and you just need that little bit of an edge, something to help you along. So I used to be against e-bikes. I used to be against 29ers too, but that's just the cycling world. You kind of pick what you're into and you can be a dick about the rest. E-bikes have their place. They're there, they're a good thing. They're not for everybody. I'm not saying they are for you. That's everybody's individual choice to make. That's part of the fun of it. So, in closing, it was a great time. I suggest you go out and try to ride one. There will be some demos at Iron City Bikes. So I'd like to thank Bob at Iron City for letting me take this. I'd like to thank Jeff, our local Fantic sales rep, for setting up this opportunity. And hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you out there.